Hello everyone. It's been a quiet day in Sore Ireland, hasn't it? Not much happening. Big updates and stuff. Being sarcastic there. Welcome to the lineup builder again. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this tonight because I have just spent an hour and 45 minutes on Quinny's stream. But yeah, I mean it's been really interesting. I see a lot of people have obviously watched the reaction video I've put up um, to the roadmap or the updates. Um, I haven't had too many other thoughts about it. Obviously, these things take a wee bit of time to digest and sink in. Obviously, it's been quite interesting in terms of the general community reaction to it. My advice would be just to sort of take time and see what the finer details are. Particularly on things like the fitness type side of things. So there's no real details on how many how many percent per game people actually decrease. So I think we'll need to await the details on that. A lot of these changes don't apply until September either. I really thought overall it was a positive roadmap. Honestly, thought there was loads of good stuff in there. Clarified Saudi Arabia won't be covered next year. Won't be any changes to the matrix. And hopefully after these things are changed and everything, things settle down. But on to the lineups. So again, here what I've done is I've picked some lineups already, and then we'll go into the limited lineups because I know you guys mainly play in limited, and obviously we've got the giveaway coming up, which is not too far away now. Into obviously August. So Cap 240 Super Rare lineup. Jack Maher is only at 50% just now, so I will need to be careful with that lineup. But I'll have a wee look at that in the morning and see if there's any update. Sort of focus lineup, or one I really like here is under 23 Rare Pro. So we've had a huge focus on the under 23s and done really, really well in this competition over the summer. So Bake Young Bum as selection in goals. Valentin Gomez been excellent. Alan Varela had a pretty good game last game, but he's looks like he's going to Porto, so it's always awesome to see somebody in the gallery who's moving on, obviously to Europe, etc. And I think that's a good move. So I've gone for Medina in terms of the super rare midfield. Aral Simzer was a recent win. Not really blessed with loads of good forward options for this game week, so obviously the other major European leagues are still to come back. And Duqueiros, who was one of the tips I'd sort of picked out. I have owned this guy for a while. I won him as a reward ages ago, and I stuck with him, and now he's moved to Zenit. So with the Wendell situation, etc., then I think he'll play, and playing against Niz Good, as I describe him, Niz Good. Under 23 there, so again I've gone for Bum and Bum. So hope they don't concede many goals, but they're at home. I think that's a good fixture. Facundo Torres, Alan Velasco has been playing pretty well, and Arsene Zakarian against Krasnodar. I do have Safanov, etc. for Krasnodar, but they were really leaky last season, and I just think obviously they're at home. Two Cap 240 rare lineup I like. So again, Willis and Maher. I'll need to just check on Maher again in the morning. So that might be one that I might reconsider. Medina again, and Theo Bogonda. Really good on the caps, because he's been playing in Cadiz. His caps really quite low. But I think against Orenburg, then he should start and should do pretty well. And I'm not going to go through all these lineups. I'll show you them so that everybody can see the different guys I'm picking, etc. For Isaka and for Ulsan, I think the lineups will be out tomorrow morning. So I've actually got two of them in there, but I can check whether or not they're playing. And two I really like here, All-Star Rare Pro. So I was talking about this in Quinny's stream. So Raphael been doing really well. Dougie Santos, brilliant. Callis Gill, obviously always a first choice selection wise. Cezinha super rare. An interesting one is Messi. Obviously they've said Messi's going to start from the bench, so this is relevant to the limited teams we're going to pick here. Did we just gamble that 30, 40 minutes, 25 minutes against Cruz Azul's enough for him just to run riot as a cameo? I could put a super rare in there, so this is a really difficult one because, my heart's saying just pick Messi, but my head is saying, you should just put a super rare in there. I think I'm just going to pick Messi. because I'm a big stupid sap. All-Star super rare selection. So gone with Nashville at home against Colorado. Don't have huge amounts of options these game weeks, so obviously as Europe comes back, we'll have more different options. Eduardo Sasha has been excellent recently and been able to use the unique Jordan Larson. So they are playing against Lyngby, I think, and interestingly, Copenhagen have got a Conference League qualifier midweek, so they'll have to be on it. I think they'll need to be sharp because they've got that European Conference League game to come up. So anyway, in terms of the actual limited, what we're going to do is similar focus, under 23s, cap to 40, and then I think we'll pick a limited team with Messi available and stuff, just for a bit of variety. So goalkeeper wise, Lee Guan Yeon has been excellent. Recently, the last couple of games, he's just broken into the team. I think for the under 23s, obviously options are Schulte, Lee Guan Yeon, and Kim Hyun Hoon. I'm going to go with Jongbuk again, just because obviously your man at Gangwon is just literally just broken into the team. So yeah, from that point of view, I think I'm just going to go a wee bit safer. Defender wise, now you'll see obviously these options aren't, they're good options, but they're not dominant options that I might have obviously when Europe comes back. So for defence, I think I'm going to go for Weigand. You'll see a nice high bonus on here because of a madman and bought loads of Boca cards through collections, and also good home game as well. Midfield wise, I think I'm probably just going to go kind of Boca stack again here. So Duqueiros is a really good selection as well, but he'll be gravy for that cap 240, so I might save him for that. So Medina, pretty sure he'll play. Varela looks as if he's on his way to Porto, so he might not play, to be honest. In terms of strikers, so this is where it gets interesting again. Kind of struggling a wee bit for selections here. I've got options, right, but like you'll see all these averages, you're at 40 and under and stuff. It's nothing that's really too high. Gladyshev isn't really always a starter for Dynamo, so I think I'll go for Isaac Atanga. Hang on, I don't think that's Isaac's highest XP card. It is. Talking rubbish. Again, he's a hit and misser, but it's a forward card, and really, I'm kind of struggling a bit for options this game week. And then for the last position, Jack Maher I like, but I don't know if he's definitely going to play. Barco didn't play last game for Boca. Kind of scraping the barrel a wee bit here in terms of selections. Evgen I like. Brian Caballos. He's not a bad young player actually, to be honest. Vital, Leo Chu. I would usually pick Barco in here, but I think I'll go Leo Chu because he's been really good recently actually. So, and captain wise, I think I'll go for Medina. Been putting up some good scores, and so yeah, it's a pretty good home game, or it's a reasonable enough fixture. I don't love this lineup or anything, but obviously you're not going to meet very many overpowered teams these game weeks, but if somebody's got Thiago, Mada and all that type of stuff, then it's going to be hard to beat, but you just never know on these types of game weeks. Cap 240, so obviously a favourite of ours or a good highlight to go at. So Nevestic is an option here, but obviously because of the way the last 15 works, he's played a game, he's got a 71, so he's not really a cap 240 option. Andre Blake's sitting at a nice juicy 49 there, so he's quite capable. Willis, Calendar, Inter Miami need to improve, obviously, don't they? So they need some players in, so it's not going to really improve for the weekend. Let's have a wee look and see what. Sorry, our data says this has changed. Site's looking nice though. Well done, guys. Absolutely awesome as always. A really good facility, a really good site, and always enjoyed using it. Suggested goalkeeper is Miguel Vargas. Right, I think I've actually already used him in the cap 220 rare, so that's why he doesn't come up here. So for Joe Willis, or we could have Andre Blake. Going to go strong here and go Andre Blake. Playing against a Mexican team, but obviously, he could face a good few shots and stuff there. So, from that point of view, it's interesting. I'm going to put Duqueras in here because I really do fancy that he's a good selection. And we mentioned earlier Theo Bongonda, so we're going to put him in. The reason I've done this is because I know they're all low caps and it leaves me with a higher average for these other positions. So I could go for a cheaper defender and then leave somebody insane to play, or could just balance it out across the 50s. So some actual decisions to make here. Kim Young-Gwon actually is a pretty good player, but he was out last game. Who was this suggestion? Lineup builder, Nicholas Figal. Before I go any further, I should probably just look at the play sharper if it's working. Why is it not working? Lineup predictions. Again, play sharper is completely free, so something obviously that to recommend you use. Why am I going to Brazil? League Cup. I want Boca. Where's Argentina? Where's Argentina? Fridays. Jesus. Why is there no Argentina on here? Am I just missing something here? They're playing Argentina on me. They are. Okay. Yeah, there's no information there on Argentina. It's a bit unusual. Okay, I'll double check that. So I'll assume that they're going to play. Obviously, guys, double check. And, the deadline tomorrow morning is 11. So remember, it is a wee bit earlier as well. Matvei Mitrovic is an interesting one. Do you think he'll play for Rijeka? So let's see what the Supersport HNL predictions are. Playing against Rudez Zagreb. I've never heard of them before. So there must be a new one coming up. So we've got Radulic and Deliver. So actually he's not projected to play. So that would be a poor selection. Taiwan Grey, Daza. I'm actually really looking forward to Europe coming back here. Some headaches here. It's going to be even worse when we factor in fitness and stuff, but that's a story for another day. Go to Walker Zimmerman. Big Walker. Come on. Actually, if I do that, I'd be as well picking Joe Willis, wouldn't I? 56. Let's see what's still available here. So we've got Barco available. Vako, Valeri Kajashvili, Daniel Gazdag. Some nice options there, actually. I think I'll go Gazdag. Who's that taking out? Bloody hell. Duqueras. Go Gazdag. So then we've got two from Philly, Zimmerman and Bongonda. Obviously, two from Philly. It's not really a defensive stack or anything, but yeah, there we go. So, final selection we're going to highlight. Let's go for the All-Star Limited because we've got some selections here. I know Messi's going to start on the bench. I know all that, but probably just going to pick him anyway, right? So, goalkeeper-wise, Livakovic is gone, hasn't he? So, let's see what they say in the HNL about the Zagreb. Croatia. Come on. Why you not work? Dinamo Zagreb against Hajduk of split. Livakovic 90%. So he's not went. Oh jeez. Okay, so we don't have Nevestic to pick from. Gostin Rossi isn't he playing? We'll go with Big Joe. Joe Willis. Do you a penalty save or whatever? Right, I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to switch Joe Willis. So I'm going to play Andre Blake in here. And I'm going to put Joe Willis in the other team. So I'll fix that in a minute, right? So go Andre Blake. Kai Wagner's injured. Gianetti's an interesting one. Very high scorer. Naga do push pineapple, shake a tree has been crap in China. So I think we'll go for Gianetti. There's no Vélez on here because it's not Argentina. I'll double check that. Midfield, so we have some nice selections here. Carles Gale, Busquets is going to start on the bench again. So he's different from Messi because Busquets is a kind of AA type guy, whereas Messi's an AA guy and the guy who could do a ridiculous hat trick or whatever. So we'll Carles Gil. We're going to go Messi. And then some other choice here. Cezinha, interesting against Diajon, I think. Yunbit Garam, excellent recently. Home against Guangzhou. They did rest Cezinha, I think, the last game. They just kind of gave him a wee bit of a break, so I expect him to play, so we're going to go strong. That's a nice lineup, that. So, captain material would usually be Messi, but he's coming from the bench, so I think we'll leave him as non-captain. Cezinha is a usual good captain option. Carles Gil. Revs have been good this season, actually, in playing against New York, who haven't been that good, so we'll go for Carles, the captain. So there we go, that's the last selection that we're going to highlight. So, yes, Andre Blake's out. We'll fix that. I know, we'll fix it. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Edit. Make sure Willis fits back in here. Big Joe Willis. Come on, guys, you're due a good game for me. So we've still got 7 left over in the cap there, but I do kind of like that team. Gazdag, obviously, we could put in with somebody who's on 60. I could play Hani. Let's go Hani Mukhtar. There's a nice team. Nashville and Duqueros and Theo Bongonda. Lovely. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching the video I did earlier. The reaction, obviously, to the updates on Sorare. I do feel as if they're quite positive overall. I like a lot of the directions they're going in. I know, obviously, people maybe don't like the fitness thing or whatever. I don't have any experience with previous fitness things in FIFA or any of those games, etc. The only bit I like about that is obviously it's offering a way to give engagement and for Sorare to kind of monetize things. So, people say, well, you're auctioning a lot of cards and you need other revenue streams and we want this to be sustainable, and Sorare obviously are taking some steps towards it being sustainable. But there's lots of good stuff in there. Honestly, I think the overall reaction is quite positive. Fiat Wallet coming very soon. That's a really key update. We really need that. People think, why do we really need it? Well, at the moment, obviously in the secondary, you can't use your credit or your debit card. The secondary prices are down a bit. And when we get to September, all the cards from last season will all lose their 5% season bonus. So people might actually view some of last season's cards or some of the season before cards as better options, and you only get them in the secondary. So if we get that Fiat Wallet sorted, be good. And then if people are getting money in and the Saudi Arabians bugger off and stop buying all my SO5 players, then actually the whole flow of things should hopefully work. But let's see how it all irons out. I gave you my reactions earlier. I don't have any other deep thoughts about it. Been loads of chats and everything ongoing today, loads of streams, loads of passion in the community. And the really good thing I've seen, I think as Haber really mentioned it, which hit home as well, was that everybody was talking about it. So, there's loads of passion for Sorare, and I hope everybody keeps that and enjoys the game. So I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to get this uploaded. Good luck with your game week. And next week we'll start working towards that huge August giveaway. Thanks.